Hey, AfterBuzzers. If you didn't know, it's Keven Undergaro, the executive producer of AfterBuzz, along with my partner, Maria Menounos.
Hi, everybody.
And Maria and I, as you know, have put so much time and money into the AfterBuzz TV product and really haven't seen a lot in return.
Nope, not yet.
But one of the ways you guys can actually help us is by tuning into our new reality show, Chasing Maria Menounos. It premieres Tuesday, March 18th, 10 o'clock, 9 p.m. Central, and features me and Maria basically bickering, fighting.
No, it's not just bickering and fighting. You get an inside look into my life, behind the scenes.
You'll also get a behind-the-scenes look at AfterBuzz.
It's really funny. It's not just bickering, and it's not fake either. So that's actually something
no.
to think about.
It's definitely not fake. It's definitely not fake. But please tune in to Chasing Maria Menounos on Oxygen, Tuesday, March 18th at 10 p.m. All of your support will help AfterBuzz because Maria certainly won't.
So rude.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Catch A Contractor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Catch A Contractor After Show.
Well, Phil, you're going to start this off?
I thought you were hosting.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well,
I got the email about this show at 4 in the morning about 2 weeks ago from our host, Keven Undergaro, saying there's a new show coming out called Catch A Contractor on Spike, hosted by Adam Carolla. We have to do it on AfterBuzz TV. And so I assumed that you would be the host.
Okay, well, happy to host this week. Or as many weeks as you need me to. No, I saw this and said, oh, my God, I'm a huge Carolla fan. I'm a huge fan of seeing contractors who are evil get it stuck to them. And we know so many people over at Adam's Place that I was like, oh, this is a no-brainer. We have to do this. Got to support Adam Carolla. Got to support the Ace Man.
Yeah.
The theme song, just a little shout-out to Mr. John Hyatt, who happens to be one of Adam's favorite performers. And this is Hyatt performing the song. You may already be a winner. So this, I guess, goes out to the lucky people who had Adam come into their lives and fix their houses.
This is gonna track for years to come. There's gonna be people begging to be on this show.
Yes.
You're never gonna have a problem with people trying to get on this show. There's so many people that are getting screwed.
If you hear any hesitation in my voice when about it going years, it's going to come from the fact that I've already heard it's very hard to produce. Because you have so many contractors who, once they're outed, they don't, they have to sign a release.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to go up to them and pixelate their faces. You can do that. But then you still have the last act of the show where you want to either see them be part of the rebuild. I'm surprised it's a little short. I'm surprised it's only a half hour.
I was debating, can this show really be an hour? How do you fill it? And to me, I like the moments, like Adam said, never give more than half to the contractor. And
you like the takeaways.
Yeah.
Which is
and I guess the building part of it, they in both episodes that we saw, it was very montagey. And that was the moment to really kind of educate homeowners that are watching the show and say, hey, here's things to look for.
I love the confrontation part. God, there's so many shady. I mean, as you said, there's no shortage of people.
Absolutely not.
That are going to be contacting them. And I just wonder with Adam's schedule, is he going to travel like Bar Rescue and other shows that we see where, John Taffer goes all over the country? I'm sure Three Ball's producing it. I'm sure there's enough money to have Adam travel. It's just his schedule. I don't know. I hope so, because right now that seemed like very Southern California. From
I mean, it very much so. But I think with Adam's schedule, you schedule him to do nights in New York and Philadelphia. So he'll do, and by night he'll do his comedy. By day he'll film this and shoot in the surrounding cities of those cities he's touring in, Chicago, whatever. So there's a way to do it.
Yeah. Well, true.
And he's doing so many live podcasts that at this point it doesn't matter to him.
What do we think of the couple he brought on to hold the fort down?
I like Skip.
I like him a lot.
He's a nice balance to Adam, because Adam's so comical,
dry,
and he'll tell you himself he's so non-confrontational. So to see him in any capacity throughout this whole thing, I was really amused at how far he actually did go. But that's why Skip's a nice guy, and he was like, it's guys like you that ruin this for me.
I like Skip because he's angry, and we need that kind of anger to go against the people he's catching. I like the fact that he's built and he's strong, and he apparently has an MMA background. And I love that, because I tell you, I see when John Taffer walks into some of the bars at Bar Rescue, I'm nervous for him. He starts yelling at these guys, and, what's it going to take for just some dishwasher to sucker punch him and be famous? What are they going to lose? And it's the same with maybe with some contractor. So I'm nervous. So I'm glad we've got this guy to keep everybody fair. And, the wife, it works. Finding a couple where one is a PI and one is a contractor,
I mean, they say they are Adam's friends, and I've never heard of Skip before, but I wouldn't put it past Adam.
Well, who's the other friend that his best friend growing up?
Ray.
Ray, yeah, he couldn't have Ray do it.
No, absolutely terrible. Oh. Ray would be the contractor getting sued.
Right, yeah, you wouldn't want Ray involved. Hopefully we'll see Ray. Well, I bet you anything, if I were to guess, it's someone who's become his friend. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they are friends now, but it wasn't someone maybe they grew up with. It was just he met him, he probably liked his personality, liked his passion, liked his work, and said, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So the first one, episode 209, titled
101.
101, excuse me.
We're looking at something completely different. 101, No Way Jose.
No Way Jose.
And I like just that. I like how they're titled. The second one, which we'll talk about, was, an obvious danger.
I mean, but, okay. So, to begin with, we see just a nice couple that just got screwed. And I can't tell you how many times this has happened to me early on as a homeowner. You get sucked in. They talk you in. We need a little more for materials. We need this. We need that. We need that. And next thing you know, you've given them the lion's share. And I would never even give half. And now at this point, they maybe get a third. But I also go to the trouble to find out where they live. You got to do due diligence, because they just disappear. And then I've had it happen to me.
I think it starts with negotiation. You got to be a good, from
So
me watching.
you can negotiate whatever you want. You can negotiate the cheapest price you want, but they can get that money and disappear, and you never see them again.
But I don't think in that sense, to me, the negotiation is not as much about the money, but getting the upper hand and really getting to know them, and you know what I mean.
That's not even a negotiation yet. That is a sussing out.
Yeah.
If you're going to hire them, when you hire them, you go through the negotiation. But I think the key is you find out where they live, any background. If they have if they have another job, that's great. I mean, anything that where you can show them the downside. Nobody wants, I don't care how tough they are, nobody wants someone ringing their doorbell every day with, hey, can you come fix my house? Can you come fix my house? Or if they work at a job, you can go visit the job. And but I've been there, and I really felt bad for that couple, and it was a long time.
This one was about 6 months, yeah. Not as bad as the next couple, which was 2 years.
And they were never going to see him again.
No.
Never.
My name is Ciro.
Ciro. Oh, my God, it was violent. And, my girlfriend was watching it with me, and she was violent, too, because we both have been there. It was interesting, because did you notice when Adam met him, what he said? He goes, this is Skip.
Yeah.
Also an MMA fighter.
Yeah, he made the joke.
I think he made the joke, but I think he was also saying, I know you're a big guy, and you probably are a bit of a thug, which you could tell he was. Don't bring my kids into it. All that thug shit that their little fake version of what they see as, street respect or their street cred or their rules. You could just tell he used of that. And Adam sussed it out, and he was like, oh, and Skip, also an MMA fighter. We both cracked up. It was funny, but I don't think he was, I think it was a half joking, half serious. He was letting him know. Yeah. So don't think you're going to go that road with us. By the way, we know Adam can handle himself, but he's older, and we don't want to see Adam rolling around. But that other guy is just filled with angst and testosterone. He's ready to go. He's shot out of a cannon.
And I love when so many people I've never seen this couple in my life. Well, they didn't have more money. Like,
oh my God. Doesn't that kill you?
You caught yourself. What are you lying? You're lying.
Just amazing. I've never seen
And then the third progression was like, see, this is it. They just won't stop talking. Yeah. This is why I had to walk away.
This is why I walked away. Yeah.
Like what?
And remember,
absolutely ridiculous.
And I'm sure if we talk to Adam or any of his people as the show progresses, think of how much was cut down.
Oh, absolutely.
From that confrontation.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was very entertaining, but very upsetting. And let's come have it, okay, come and make it right. So they go over and they make it right, and it's interesting the way the show goes. The renovation's very quick, and I'm glad they're doing little houses. Do you notice how we're doing bathrooms and rooms, and we're not doing major. So it's not. That's probably why it only needs a half hour, because it's relatively quick
overall
when they go in there. I mean, they're not big overhauls. These aren't big jobs, but
it's still people's. I mean, in that respect, it's again, what they're doing. These are people's dreams.
Well, I'm not minimizing that film. Saying from a production standpoint, it's great that they're dealing with, and that's why you don't need an hour. If it was a big giant house and it was, or in a big giant addition, which maybe they'll get into, but they're getting into things that he can be in and out in a couple of days. And what was great is with that is they did the bathroom, but then they did the outside, they did a little landscaping. I mean, they really did a nice job.
I mean, Jose was terrible.
Terrible, but at least he did some work, and it was great to see him heckled.
Yeah.
And by the way,
he stepped in your step.
Right. It was great because on this show, because Adam's so funny, so he was just killing me the whole time. All his jokes and his quips. Yeah. To me, it's like, I don't know. If I'm Spike, I'm giving him a late night talk show. That's all I kept thinking. Is why isn't Spike doing a late night talk show? Nothing to go against Jimmy. 11 o'clock, Adam. 11:30. He's just so good. I mean, he's amazing.
He was. And even when the couple pulls back in at the end, he lets his wife drive.
Yeah. I mean, just yeah.
I never let my wife drive.
I never let my wife drive. And okay, and credit to 3Ball. So we know some people over there, and it felt like their signature. You're talking for the production aspect. Did you guys know the show that they really are copying?
Yeah, catch a predator.
Yeah, so it's amazing, but all the way to the point for the way the cameras rush in, everything.
The way she walks upstairs, like she's like, oh yeah, just wait here for a second.
Yeah.
Walks away.
Right.
I'm like, are they gonna come down and like?
I love it.
Take a seat.
It's the little 15-year-old that goes, "Do you want some lemonade? Okay, just help yourself. I'm gonna go in the other and get comfortable." Hi, would you like to have a seat? And comes Chris Hansen. It's like, it's great. I'm just gonna go in the other room and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm. I haven't seen as many episodes of Catch A, but I absolutely know what they're doing.
Yeah,
so it's great.
It was.
What do you think of Ciro though, in terms of him helping? Because his name was on the line initially.
I think it was.
I think he's still kind of new, but I think
I'm sure he knew.
For a good television show, you really don't want to vilify everyone.
No, and he didn't want to be. No, and also
I think he was smart. He was like, I get this bozo. I look good on TV. Right. I can't be the bad guy. Yeah, I'm licensed.
I'm not gonna take the hit for him. He was probably in an interesting situation where, do you walk away and say F you, or are you so scared about being liable? Or maybe he was thinking of promotion. I can look like the good guy. I can look like I can be on Adam's show. I'm sure a good producer talked to him and said, "Come on, really?" Yeah. But that's the thing. This is going to be a tough show to do, because who's going to go? Who's going to really? It's going to be tough to get people to go along with this. You really just have to scare them, and it all depends. I mean, the experienced contractors I know, they're tough to scare because they've been screwing people for so long. They know every angle. That it's tough. So, but there's a lot of ham and eggers out there, and I think the key is going to be to scare them, use the scare tactic in some places, and then other places use the tactic of, hey, you know what, your family will get to see you, and you know what, you'll end up making it right, coming in, I don't know. I'm just excited to see the rest of the season. The rest of this season, I don't know how many they can go because it's just going to be a production nightmare, I think.
I mean, I hope they can go. I mean, we said the same thing of bar rescue, how they keep it going and things like that. Not necessarily from a production standpoint.
But a bar is incentivized, Phil, because they want you in there to fix their bar. Yeah. This is tough. If a contractor doesn't want to get outed or exposed. So, it's tough. Tough one. I love the fact that they got that slob back over there, and even though he wasn't that good, he actually worked. I liked seeing him work. I love seeing him have to sweat, have to do the job.
I like that too, but it's also, it was very telling. There's the pressure treated wood, and he said, I did this side. Oh, it must have been my guys. So, as a contractor too, you have to be a team manager, and so if your guys are doing
Phil, he was lying. Those guys have so many stock answers. I've told you guys the one about the kid.
But even so,
you guys listen. So Steven, you know about blaming the kid, right? Have I told?
In what context?
In any context. Okay, so all right, Steven. So you come in and I want you to ask me why the AFTERBUZZ monitor behind me is broke.
Because
no, ask me.
Why is the AFTERBUZZ monitor broke?
Oh, it's broke. Let me see. Had to be the kid. God damn it, the kid. Now, Phil, you're supposed to jump in and say,
you know what? He did the same thing last week, and I told him, don't ever mess it up again.
God
it just
damn,
keeps happening.
Goddamn kid.
Well, he was only in here for like 10 minutes alone.
Yeah, no, you're not supposed to jump in, Steven. You're still the bewildered client. We're working you right now.
Oh, okay.
The kid. Oh, yeah,
I told him next time that he'd be fired, but I'm telling you, these kids, you get one and then another one, and you try to find the good kid, and they all suck.
This whole place is screwed up. Ever since we brought this kid in, I honestly, that's why I only work with my old guys. I don't care. They work slower. They work for more money. But you know what? The kid, man. And usually by the time they're done talking about the kid, you're jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah, tell me about it. I've got kids who work for me. Oh, my son's a blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that generation, they don't respect. So the kid is
that like a common tactic?
No, we joked about on construction. It used to be like I would see that my bosses pull it out, and then in the carny business, and there's many of them. The kid's one example. It's always, oh, my guys, or one of my guys must have. It's never, ever just, yeah, you know what?
I mean, in episode 2, it was the dog did that.
Yeah, the dog, but, well, we'll get there. But, yeah, it's always, I don't know. By the way, in Hollywood, same thing. So many people you work with just will not admit that they didn't do the work. They won't admit that they lied. They won't admit that they just won't admit fault. Right? And I always come from a place like, listen, I'd rather be honest because I think you just further insult the people. But then again, some of these con artists get away with it. They get people to believe them. But you're better off just saying, yeah, you know what? You're right. I was running low on money. I don't know. Usually, sometimes they go that way too. My girlfriend had walked out on me, and I was overwhelmed, and I ran away, and I'm sorry, and let me fix it. I mean, but he was stubborn. You could tell he was a thug. He was looking for an angle to fight back. Yeah. So don't mention my kids.
Oh, the lawyer thing. Listen, I know you might have a divorce, but this isn't that kind of law.
Yeah, he's like, let me call my lawyer. You don't really have a lawyer. He's like, Adam goes, and then when Adam says, he's like, but not really for the divorces. That's different.
Yeah.
That's a different lawyer.
Do you have a license? Oh, it's with the lawyer.
Yeah, got it. Lawyer's got it. But he was looking for. He was a thug. He was looking for any angle to fight back rather than just accept responsibility. And I don't know how they spooked him into doing it. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have some kind of record and if he wasn't really afraid in that regard of having anything, your phone, Phil. So I don't know, but they got him to do it. Comeuppance was delivered. The couple got there.
I like the husband's line of like, I'm not going to be apt to forgive him, but I will probably forget him.
I'll forget him. Yeah, that actually was great. that was something I was like, oh, I think I'm
Yeah.
going to use that.
I think that's I think it's healthy enough.
Absolutely. So why not forget them? All right, so let's move on to
And obviously dangerous.
so on the one hand, I didn't like the fat thug, obviously. No pun intended. But this guy was he in some ways he was a little better, but in most ways he was worse. And for me, okay, this is a tip for contractor guys. Anytime a salesman comes over and gives you a price, get the price and then say goodbye. If you want to use the price to barter against other people, great. But that's the only real use. If a salesman comes, that means you're not only going to get charged for your job, you're being charged for that salesman's salary. And then if it's a big enough office and infrastructure, then you're going to have to, then you have those bills you're paying for, you're getting charged for. I just don't do, I've never gone that route. I've always been like, thank you very much, go away. Because my first construction job was 7 years old with my dad. And I was local 22 in Boston. I'm not as skilled as Adam. I was a laborer, but then I've picked up a lot of small trades along the way. And when I see these guys come and they've never done the work before, or they're not dirty, or their clothes are really nice, I can just tell. And I'm like, no, go away. I like the guy who comes up with the pickup, gets out of the car, and I can tell he's done the work. And maybe if it's an owner, he's no longer doing the work, and I'm okay with that. Like Phil, we had the AC guy come, Leo.
Yeah, I like Leo.
Leo's great. Now, he doesn't do a lot of the grunt work anymore because he's older, but you know something? He knows every bit about the systems and how to replace them. And he did come the other day, and he got up on the ladder, and he checked out our stuff. But normally, when I see a guy like that, I say, see you later. Keep walking. Keep walking. Because all you're doing is you've got to give him extra money. How's he going to get paid?
Just got to get the BMW.
So he's going to overcharge you to get his salary before he pays his guys, number one. Number two, he doesn't know what he's doing. You could tell. He had no idea what he was doing, as was revealed. So from the get-go, if there's anything if you can get out of watching Adam's show or watching this show or listening, do not hire a middleman. Don't hire any company that has a salesman come out. Don't. Get a mom and pop. Get someone who's in private business doing it themselves. So right out of the gate, they were screwed. As soon as I saw him with that shirt and the I just said, oh no. Last thing, hey, you know what? And even in filmmaking, Brian Grazier, Ron Howard's partner. Do you know if you go into him and you're really Steven, you'll love this. If you go into Brian Grazier and you want to work with him, and you're super dressed up, he looks you head to toe, and you know what he thinks of you if you're really well put together and well groomed and you have really nice clothes.
You're not dedicated enough. You're not doing what you should be doing.
You're not dedicated enough to filmmaking. Your mind is not in the film. Your mind is not in your project. Your mind is too much into you.
Directors should be wearing sweatpants and tennis shoes.
Well, you know what? I mean, just his theory, interesting. You know, a lot of it I agree with, but then also I know with directing, you really have to have good taste. You have to be able to pick the right shot. You have to be able to pick the right person to act in the movie. You have to, So I'm not so sure about it, but it's an interesting theory. But it certainly, to me, applies to contracting. When you have a guy comes up and is dressed better than you, send him by, and he's driving a BMW, goodbye. Because that's what you're paying for, guys. You're not paying for the work. You're paying for his BMW and his clothes. And chances are he's never done the work, so he doesn't really know what goes in. So he's not going to know how to give you quality. He's just going to know how to charge you a lot of money. And when you need more work done or you need something fixed, he's just going to charge you more money, which, of course, is what he did. I couldn't get an angle on... He charged him $32,000 for the kitchen and a bathroom.
The kitchen and the bathroom, yeah.
And
partially.
And all he did was, it looked like tile. What did he do?
He moved the cabinets out and then moved them back in.
Okay.
Without, it didn't get, no drywall. Drywall at that point was gone from the cabinets. And then, none of the pipes were done in the bathroom. He just did, in terms of the actual work, I think he just did the tiling at that point.
I mean,
I don't think it was even finished completely.
Again, I don't know if I hate him worse than the other guy, but it's like, at least the other guy, at the very least, he went back and did the work, and he just ran out of lies, and he kind of gave up, which I was like, thank God you're at least doing that. This mofo never stopped. Never stopped. Had to get the last word in every time. Never, ever stopped. And never veered from the fact that he took $32,000 to put crappy tile over old tile. I mean, just that tile job, that's $2,000 or $3,000. Where do you get $32,000? Oh, my God.
It isn't, I mean... I consulted John Comfort, who will be joining this after show, who does a lot of this work.
He's a contractor, right?
So I asked him, that seems a little high, and he said the most expensive thing in a house is the kitchen.
But not just tile over old tile and even finished. That's not. John will tell you that. $32,000 is going to get you new cabinets. It's going to get you new appliances. It's going to get you a floor. And we're not talking about the McMansion kitchen. We're talking about a kitchen in a 12 to 1,500 square foot house.
Yeah, it was.
That's all it was. And it was disgusting. And okay, so there's probably a bathroom involved too. Fine. But again, what did he do? He took out all the fixtures, mudded the walls, and painted them. That's it. That's not $32,000 worth of work. He did about $5,000 or $6,000 worth of work. And then when they wanted more things done, give me more money. Crazy. And it's just so sad the people got insurance. With those people, they probably never had that much money. They got it, wasn't it insurance?
Yeah,
And so they got excited and they turned it over. It's funny. One time someone drove through the front gate of my house. I heard this big bang. I ran downstairs, and there was a car in my front yard with the gate attached to it. And I was like, oh, my God. Well, insurance company came out and said, okay, we'll give you the money for a gate. And the guy that wanted to do the gate, his actual name was Avi, who wanted to do it. Well, he had found out through the insurance company. And it was, I forget, $30,000 or $40,000 he wanted
for a gate.
Yeah, and
I mean, this is a nice gate, no offense, but it's not.
But Mike, people in our neighborhood maybe pay it, and as soon as he found an insurance valve, oh, perfect, my friend. I'll write up this for this, and then you'll just have the check come right to me. And I said no, because he was in the Beamer, he was in the nice outfit. I said no. I ended up getting a welder, and the guy, who drove up with the big truck and the gates on the back of the truck, and probably welded a ton of stuff in his day. This guy was in his late 40s, early 50s, so his workers did all the work, and he didn't do the work, but I knew that this guy was a welder. He just got to an age where he has that I'm fine with. And I think it was like, I don't know, maybe $6,000. It was just much. It wasn't what this guy said. But a lot of times they know that you have the money from the insurance company. And they think, oh, stupid homeowner, you're really excited because you have all this money. Just hand it right over to me. I'll take care of everything. And that's when you have to go, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. They finally get him over to the house, which was amusing because it seemed like all he could do was put on a light switch panel, which is the matter of turning a regular screwdriver.
Right before I did like the confrontation, in typical fashion, right? Someone who's working is typically going to be late, is what I've learned in my experience, right? Because they're finishing up they're trying to.
No,
he showed up early.
Now, why did he show up early, Phil?
I don't know. I can't give an.
Okay. When it comes to those guys, when it comes to making money and getting a check, early bird, baby. He's not working hard. He's right there 15 minutes early with his briefcase or whatever he's got.
Yeah.
Always. Now, try getting him after he gets his money, you know?
2 years it took to get
Yeah,
him.
well, they were never going to see him again.
No.
Never going to see him again. And you know, even at the end when he popped in with Adam and had his little stupid line, Maria just said, "Oh my God, my girlfriend's watching TV last night with me, and she's like, what an asshole." She's like, and she mentioned a couple people we know who are like him, just have to have the last word, and just a jerk, just a jerk. I'm hoping that, I'm hoping that people watching the show will get educated because
The sewer, it's
that
just
was
a little
another
stuff.
thing too.
You just don't know
I never
stuff.
knew that. I never knew that about blocking the sewer pipe and all the noxious gases getting into the house.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, and they just harassed him about a cap. Yeah, again, no, here we go, 10 seconds. But he always had to have the last answer. Oh, look, a dog could take it off. That's right.
There was,
I know.
There was
but
no dog.
Listen, no. But these guys, I don't know. I just give advice. If you guys deal with people like that have to get the last word, you don't enter a discussion with them. You don't even have an argument with them. You just tell them how it is. No, this is what you did. Now you're gonna fix it or you're not. That's it. I don't really want to discuss it anymore because you're getting me upset. All you're doing is anger me with your lies. And I've learned, by the way, that there's times where I make mistakes, but I just don't own up to it because when you're that wrong and you're denying, you just incite so much anger. But these guys are such good con men that they always know how to dodge the bullet. I always say most of those guys always dodge the punch. They always find a way to dodge the punch. I've had more friends where I've had to go take care of contractors for them and get involved. I feel so bad. I mean, I think all of us, even the smartest people I know, have been messed with. Joe, Big Joe, our security, his uncle owns a really big construction company back east. So he's been in construction sites his whole life. And even Joe's dad is like 30 years union carpenter. Even he's had nightmares. And I was like stunned to hear it. Like, why? You see every trick coming. He's like, you know what? No, there's always a new one.
Yeah.
And I think we've all dealt with it, but it's nice. The more I also think the other thing is Yelp. Yelp is the great friend to any consumer, but especially the consumer in the contracting world. Check these people out. I mean, you've heard the things. Get three estimates, then check their references.
But even so,
But then go to Yelp, and see if they're on Yelp and what those reviews are, and I'll tell you. And if you do end up getting screwed, go to Yelp, list all the information you possibly can, because I know it really hurts the contractor, and they know now. I had a friend back east who went so crazy on Yelp that the contractor called him up and said, "Please stop, take it all down. I'll come fix it." Because now consumers are getting savvier, but Yelp has been a great tool. I've gone to Yelp now many times, Phil, on just some of the little things. You know how I vet these things.
Yeah.
And I go, nope, don't let them in. Don't let them in. But it's really hard. And when and for these renovations, most of them are at least 2 weeks, and then some can be 6 months, and some can be a year. So you're really marrying these people. So, yeah. Anyway, I have a real soft spot for it, like Adam did, and I mean that's why I like this show. I'm hoping it helps people, but I also get violent too when I watch it. It's so upsetting to watch. As homeowners, I don't know one homeowner who hasn't been there.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, for me, I do. I love the takeaways. Adam said never give more than half up front, things like that.
And I say a third. Screw it. Well, I'll get some. And by the way, it's. I've been blessed because it's been a pretty. Because of the economy being so bad the last few years, people have been behaving more. They're more accountable because it's so competitive. But you just, don't be afraid to walk away either. Don't be afraid to go, okay, well, move on.
I don't know if this is necessarily good advice, but, the people that are good tend to be in demand, and, so they might say, like, I'm not available necessarily tomorrow or next week,
you're
but
right.
how about in 2 weeks or something
right.
like that?
You're 100% right. about that.
So
The good ones, you're right. Sometimes it's worth waiting for them
so
if they have the right. If you have all the right recommendations and whatnot. You're right. I'm not very good at that because I'm like most Americans. I want it done and on to the next thing.
yeah, but in
you're
this
right.
case, I mean, you're waiting 2 years.
Right. Had they just waited, oh yeah. I mean, had they just waited, it would have been
So
to get the right person. It's heartbreaking. Anyway, he came back. He still was a dick. I'm sorry. He was useless. He couldn't do anything. But they ragged on him a little bit, and I don't know. That was really frustrating because they did all the work. He didn't go out of his pocket for anything.
yeah, but I don't know. I hope if you look at it in some sense, now that it's out on TV, he's got something has to be fixed in that respect.
I hope, yeah.
Again, you're educating at the very least people on like, okay, don't trust this guy.
Right.
So if that came out of it, then okay.
I think you're right. I think it was a short-term victory for him because he got to be on TV and all that stuff. But yeah, I think you're right. I think I think anyone with a brain is gonna know if they hire him.
Yeah.
Oh, if they know that's the guy from
Catch a Contractor.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, do we even have predictions for this show?
There was no thing. But you know what? Go to there's a lot of stuff on Spike TV, their website, in terms of the behind the scenes, and I'm kind of giving sort of more of these tips that we didn't necessarily see on TV.
He still also does Ace on the House too,
Ace on the House. I mean, yeah, he's doing
which is on a podcast. It's just a little shout out for the Adam Carolla network on Podcast One and at iTunes. But all of Adam's regular show is hilarious. We all know it's the best of all the podcasts out there. And then he does Ace on the House, which is about building.
Yeah, and callers get to call in, so check him out.
And then Phil, lastly, didn't you have a little bit of controversy surrounding the show, or did you not want to bring that up?
Let's see. I mean, the one of the couples, I guess they're suing because of the sewage, right? Which you can guess which couple that is. Let me pull it up.
Who are they suing, though?
The show.
They're suing Adam?
Not Adam specifically, but the show.
The lady and the woman? The old lady and the son?
Yeah, that's according to their lawsuit. This is in abcnews.com. That's according to their lawsuit filed this week in Superior Court in Los Angeles County. The show, the two claim, is liable for 200 gallons of raw sewage that spilled into their home. They are suing for more than $2.8 million.
Oh, my God. Talk about no good deed going unpunished.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I hate people. I'm so sorry.
So it's just one of those things. I mean, the sewage was already bad enough to be, how are you going to account for that? It was...
I mean, it was already problems with... I don't know.
That's 2 years of...
Can you talk to Matt and see if we can... see if we get some inside info.
Yeah.
Phil from the Carolla camp on that. Oh, that's horrible. That's just terrible. But again, I think that's why that's one more reason why it's going to be a show. I love this show. I think it's going to be tough to do for more than a season. Hi, Phil. Where do we find you?
Follow us here at AfterBuzz TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And the companion show to Spike's Catch A Contractor, of course, is Bar Rescue.
Bar Rescue, baby. Tomorrow night we'll be doing it. Steven, where do we find you?
On Twitter at Stephen Lemieux. And you have a Twitter now, Kev.
At Undergaro.
Catch him on Oxygen Tuesday nights, 10/9 Central, starting March 18th.
Woo. To catch him in Unos. Okay.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.